Hello, and welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Take a look at the phone in your hand, the computer on your desk, or even the car in your driveway. What do they all have in common? They're powered by tiny, almost magical slivers of silicon called semiconductors. These chips are the brains of our modern world, and right now, a silent, high-stakes battle is being fought across the globe for control over them. This isn't just about who makes the best gadgets. It's a geopolitical struggle that will define who holds power for the rest of this century. Today, we're diving deep into the global chip war. Think of the world map as a new kind of chessboard, but instead of kings and queens, the most powerful pieces are semiconductor chips. At the center of this game are the two biggest players, the United States and China. The US has historically been the leader in designing these chips, but a lot of the actual manufacturing moved overseas. Now, Washington is trying to bring it back home and maintain its technological edge. They've launched the CHIPS and Science Act, a massive $53 billion investment to boost American manufacturing. But it's not just about spending money. The US is also playing defense, trying to slow down China's progress. They've rallied allies like Japan and the Netherlands to limit the sale of the most advanced chip-making equipment to China. This includes putting pressure on a single Dutch company, ASML, which is the only company on Earth that makes the super advanced EUV machines needed for the best chips. But China isn't just sitting back. As part of its Made in China 2025 plan, Beijing is pouring billions into its own chip industry, determined to become self-sufficient. While they're still about 5 to 10 years behind on the most advanced tech, they are catching up incredibly fast in other areas. But who are the other major players in this arena? First, you have to talk about Taiwan. This small island is the undisputed king of manufacturing, producing over 60% of the world's semiconductors and a mind-boggling 90% of the most advanced ones. This is almost all thanks to one company, TSMC, probably the most important company you've never heard of, which makes chips for giants like Apple and Nvidia. Then there's South Korea, home to powerhouses like Samsung and SK Hynix, who dominate the market for memory chips. Samsung alone is planning to invest $230 billion over the next 2 decades. Even Japan, which was a leader decades ago, is making a comeback with a multi-billion-dollar investment. The European Union and even India are jumping into the race, with India planning a $4 billion incentive scheme to become a new electronics hub. So what's the next prize they're all fighting for? It's not just about making more of the same chips. It's about inventing the future. First up, AI chips. The artificial intelligence boom has created an insane demand for specialized, powerful chips. The market for these was worth nearly £50 billion in 2023 and is projected to skyrocket to almost $500 billion by 2032. This is why companies like Nvidia have seen their value explode. Then there's the even more futuristic stuff. Quantum computing promises to solve problems that are impossible for today's computers. And it will need a whole new kind of quantum chip. And as we reach the physical limits of how small we can make a single chip, engineers are developing advanced packaging, essentially building tiny skyscrapers of chips, stacking them in 3D to make devices smaller and more powerful. We're even seeing the development of flexible semiconductors, which could lead to an Internet of Everything, where smart, flexible chips are integrated into just about any object you can imagine. Of course, this path to dominance is not easy. There's a massive global shortage of skilled engineers, and the constant threat of geopolitical tension can snap fragile supply chains at any moment. That's why countries and companies are scrambling to diversify. They're moving factories to friendly nations, bringing production closer to home, and trying not to put all their eggs in one basket. The global race for electronics dominance is a marathon, not a sprint. It will require decades of investment, innovation, and strategic maneuvering. The nations and companies that win this race won't just control the market for smartphones and laptops. They will hold the keys to the economic, military, and technological landscape of the 21st century. Thanks for listening to G Fun Facts Online. What you hold in your hand is more than just a phone. It's a piece in the biggest global power game of our time.